Hello.
How are you today? Happy Hump Day.
Happy Hump Day. Just starting, so far so good.
Nice. Okay, so welcome, everybody to the Commentary Zone Noontime Edition. I'm not sure if the alert went out yet. I know it hasn't. Um, it just went out. Okay, so people should be coming in shortly. So as we wait on that, just asking everyone to give us a thumbs up just because we asked you to. It helps get our content out. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that notification bell on YouTube. But I would advise you, if you want it on time, just follow us on Twitter. That alert comes out a lot faster. So today on the docket, we have The Family Chantel, Season 3, Episode 10, On My Best Behavior, sort of. What'd you think of the episode, Jamal?
It was overall good and loving Mama Karen. When she's Mama Karen, she's fantastic. She gave Chantel great advice that she did not take.
I know.
I mean, and I really like Megan. The way she explained everything, the way she articulated everything, I'm like, I get where you're coming from. I like you.
See, I zoned out when she came on. I didn't like her or her friend. I just
What
don't
her,
think it's genuine.
I mean, here's the thing. I can't say if it's genuine or not at this point because she seems to be very level-headed and she seems to have a thought process, and I value that in a character. So I'm kind of gonna let it play out. But it's more, and she seems to be trying with River, but I think the pace is too slow for him. But what the problem with him is he's not understanding where she's at in life. Like she's at a vastly different place. He's treating this like high school teenage puppy love. She's looking at this as I'm a mom first, and I have priorities, and he's not understanding that.
And I agree with everything that you're saying, which to me says if I was Megan, what am I finding appealing in River?
I mean,
Just saying. And that's
no,
my problem with it.
no, I get you. No, believe me, I get you. I understand. Um, Basically, like you have all this going, you have priorities, you have this going on, you have that going on. You're on a path. Why you're thinking like why River? Still living at home, still trying to do music, no steady job. I get it. I mean, the one appealing thing is his family is on the TV show, and he gives you exposure.
And that there is like part of the reason why I tune out whenever they're on. Honestly, it makes no sense. And her friend is grossly irritating to me personally. I don't know her. But she comes over as a harpy to me. Yeah. I check out when they're on.
Yeah, her friend just doesn't like River. Period. And her points aren't invalid. It's just the way she articulates them. It's annoying.
No, I get what she's saying. I she's a little like okay, we'll talk about it when we get there. All right, so we start at the top of the show. Let's see who's joined us. Hold on before I forget. Hi everybody. Hey Black Lavender. Hey Nisei. Hey Steven. Hey Yanni. Did I miss anyone? Welcome. Okay. Oh gosh. Black Lavender says that she's there for 5 minutes of fame and some change. Well, Karen got hats and boots for every occasion. Yes, she does. Yes, she
Hmm.
does. It's a bit strange, but okay. All right, so Karen, Chantel, and Winter and Pedro, they get to the hotel. They're settling in. I guess the budget was tight because Karen and Winter are sharing a room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Probably because Karen wasn't even invited. That's why. Remember,
Oh,
yeah, remember that Karen wasn't invited. So the money they had to spend on her ticket took away from the hotel room.
and if they're going there through Christmas, even during the panty, there might have been limited availability.
Exactly. Snowbirds,
Uh,
as they call them, I think.
I would think more, it would be more like people from the DR who live overseas are going home. I don't think there was much
Oh,
tourism because if this was
yeah, no,
last
that's what I mean. That's what I
Christmas,
mean. That's what I mean. People
yeah.
who like some people here, like in the states, they'll have like they'll spend part of the time in maybe Colorado or upstate New
No,
York.
we have lots of snowbirds here, but there's a difference with a snowbird. They're just going someplace else for several months for the winter. What I'm
Right.
talking about is people who originally are from the DR who are just going home
Oh,
for a holiday. Yeah, like with
gotcha.
Barbadians, we call them Beja Yankees if they're living in the States now. So,
Gotcha.
you come back home to see family, and I don't think
Mm.
there was much tourism because that's a different type of tourism.
Right, 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 right.
Yeah.
I
Um,
gotcha. So like
so
people who live, what you're saying is like it's not so much tourism, but what this is people actually coming back home.
right, someone like Alejandro who's coming back
Mhm.
home to visit for a holiday. Yeah. That's what I think it probably is. Um, and probably have had to stay in hotels to quarantine before getting released because that's what they did in Barbados. They made people quarantine at hotels before they could come out into the greater community, and that was
Gotcha.
before the vaccine and stuff like that. So I'm just thinking along those lines. Um, so yeah, so she brought a selection of hats. She's talking to Winter, and I think she's trying to encourage Winter to go out and sample from the life's smorgasbord. Like, try to gently say it gently, but forget about Ja. There's so many more people out there for you
Mhm.
to see and enjoy, and just live your life, girl. Just start living your life. And Karen also mentions that it's the first time that she's been apart for such a long time from Thomas. And I think it's kind of strange for her.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like you guys are talking about you never been in parts of them. Okay, Thomas is living his best life while she gone.
Okay, so from this scene, I took note of something. So they have a little room that they've turned into a gym. How much you want to bet that used to be Winter's room, that is now the gym, and that's why she's sleeping on a pull-out sofa in the other room?
Yep,
Wow.
yep. I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Oh God. The ladies get together for mimosas. Chantel is glad that they're there with her. Winter says that Ja has been texting her, and she hasn't responded. You believe that?
Hmm. Not sure if I believe that, but we'll go with it.
Winter also says that she's realized that Ja never put her first. About time you realize that, girl. Um, Karen asks about Pedro and how he's doing. And Chantel says that he's having a rough time, that his family thinks that there's nothing wrong with a man giving gifts, but Pedro wants a relationship with his dad, and they're kind of making fun of him. Um, she lets them know that she's having lunch with Pedro and Lydia later on that day. Um, and she's here to support her husband. And Karen tells her, she stresses that she wants her to be a great listener and to not say anything. Good on Karen.
Mm-hmm.
I wish Chantel had kind of listened to it
Yes,
until she asked the question that I got the thumbnail for. And I was
because
like, okay, I wanted this question.
yeah, because I'm like Chantel, like they were doing good, they were changing nicely. I'm like, okay, this is good. We're on a good space. We are communicating nicely. We are um you know everyone's getting along, and then Chantel just went in for the question like, yep, you just completely did not listen to your mama. Because I feel here's how I feel.
Uh-huh.
Her job was there to support Boo, support Pedro. That's what
Right.
all she needed to do. You don't go down there questioning someone. You don't do that because this doesn't really concern you. You're just there as
Mhm.
support for your man. So I felt Lydia when she's like, who is she to question me? And that's why I felt in that instance I felt Chantel was wrong. You should just listen. Just listen to your mama.
Mhm.
Listen. Take everything in because before that I was Team Chantel. Here is why. Remember her and Pedro were talking, and she's like, "Oh, are your brothers coming in to meet you?" He's like, "No, they live in Santo Domingo." She's
Mhm.
like, and she's like, she's like, "They live here?" He's all, "Yeah." She's all, "So does that mean your father lives here too?" He's like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Oh, I know what you're trying to say, Chantel. This is just my opinion. My opinion, what she's trying to say is, you gonna tell me your brothers live here, but your daddy doesn't?" I think Chantel feels like the mama knows exactly where the daddy is, doesn't want to tell them, and I
Mhm.
bet you she probably thinks they've been seeing each other over the years.
Mm.
Because I'm going back to your what you said about the islands and how it tends to work. How like the man would maybe have a family on one side of town, then have a
Mhm.
family on the other side of town,
Mhm.
and he kind of go back and forth. And I was like, when Chantel asked those questions, I'm like, oh, and you combine that with Lydia's avoidance about where he is, I'm I'm just going off of the size of the island, the fact that he's in the same city, probably the same city. You're not gonna tell me you don't have people who know where he is.
Mm.
You can't tell me that because I'm just going. It's not like the United States where you can be just pretty much anywhere. And if they're in
Right.
the same country and Santo Domingo taking what you've told us, she know where he is.
Here's my thing though. Remember they met back at Campo, which is several hours away from the capital.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he could be there or a town close by to Campo,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of people emigrate to the city for work. So they move where there's
Mm-hmm.
more job opportunities. When you stay in the country, it's more rural job opportunities as opposed
Mm-hmm.
to moving to the city. As you get more educated, you move away from um, farming
Mm-hmm.
basically, and you do other jobs that are in like basically located in the city.
Right, but he was acceptable. The reason why I'm going with this theory is because
Mm-hmm.
he's acceptable because he gave them money, which
Yeah,
tells me he had gainful opportunity elsewhere.
right. But
And
don't forget, you
mhm,
own land. That's money. If you utilize the land properly, livestock and crops is money. And DR, they have a great agricultural product because they've got the land.
right, that makes
So I
sense.
don't discount wealth of anyone in the country as opposed to city. We have to think outside the box of this. He could be everything from a businessman to someone who is into farming or livestock. The possibilities are endless.
Right, but they're about the money. Like that's why
Mm-hmm.
he's acceptable. So I'm trying to figure out
Mm-hmm.
what was he giving them. That's a key. I think it's a key factor because they're
Mm-hmm.
completely fine with like, oh, like he's cool. We good with him,
Mm-hmm.
which
It could
tells
be
me,
anything. He came with
yeah.
a car full of something. It could be clothes. It
Mm-hmm.
could be appliances. It could be anything. Material. To if they were into sewing, it could be material as well. Material like this way back in the day. My mom used to sew. when we lived in Barbados, and material was expensive. Clothes were more expensive, but
Mm-hmm.
material was expensive. Um, I don't know. It could be anything. I think anything that's given to them for free that looks good, that they can place a monetary value on, they're good with.
Gotcha. Okay.
If you gave them a greeting card, go away. But if you come with a TV, a fridge, and a stove, and lots of nice dresses and stuff like that, they cool with you.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. I can see that train of thought.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I I do agree with you that she should have kept her mouth shut. I do, until she asked that one question.
Mm-hmm.
And that question was key for me because Lydia's heart is so frozen over and so jagged. It is frozen over, shattered, and prickly and jagged. It didn't get that way on its own. I I would love to know if she, in her young girl self, actually fell in love with this man, and when he went back to the wife and didn't stay with her and her kids, that was the end of any normal Lydia, and Lydia became the individual that she is today because of that. So that's why I didn't really mind that question, because I was wondering that myself.
Yep, I can see that.
Yeah.
Because she's too in her feelings to be just like, oh,
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm. To the point of being like really disrespectful to her children when they're asking about it. I think it's an embarrassment for her not having the children, but the whole thing of being rejected, I think hurt her ego. And there's a reason where I feel she doesn't want Pedro or the girl to be asking questions from the
Mm-hmm.
other point of view.
Right.
Because the truth is going to lay somewhere in the middle, but you're never going to come to the truth if you don't hear the two extreme sides of it.
Exactly.
Mm. Pedro's dad was giving Lydia gifts and demon pee. She was probably on cloud nine. Oh my God. Hey, Blobby. Hey, Steven. Oh my God, Lydia. Okay, Lydia lied to them, especially Pedro. He remembers a different life where they struggle financially, but does he remember or remembers mom saying or her lies? Yet she paid for college.
Yeah, he's not putting those two together, like how they don't really match up. How
Mm-hmm.
they struggled and this and that, but she was able to go to law school.
Okay, she tried a second time when she got pregnant with Nicole. When that didn't work, he still chose his family. She pushed him away, expecting him to come back or stay. Yeah, I think, like I've always said, I think she dropped an ultimatum and it backfired.
Yep.
You know, I was in the middle. Yeah, guy. Like I need to hear like all of the different perspectives. I heard grandma's perspective. He pulled up with gifts. He was cool. All right, so he was a benefactor of some sort for all of them. Because you can't just give one. You have to, with her type of family, you got to woo the whole family to get them all on your side. So you got to butter all
Mm-hmm.
of those palms. Oh, Blavi made cake. Nice. It was delicious and moist in the batter, and the batter had me worry. Oh, okay. Nice. Okay, so the next part is with Nicole and Koriyama. Um, I wasn't interested. When I saw her jogging in that onesie, I wasn't interested. Sorry. But basically, she's blaming Pedro for everything. She's giving Koriyama updates on what happened at the campo, And yeah, she says that they're bringing her to a nervous breakdown. Okay. And your thoughts on that?
I'm good. I'm good.
You don't care about Nicole?
I could
I
because she
rely on you to pay attention to her.
for her, but for her, it's just like everything is super dramatic for no reason, and she what her the emotions she displays don't go with what she's saying. Like when she's talking to Pedro, she's all upset. She's like, "I don't care, do what you want, yada." Yada. But yet you're sitting there, she's like, you can tell she's holding back tears. Why not just go get it done, keep it moving? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, just tell your family, like you told them, like I'm going to be with Alejandro, whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And Alejandro made a good point to when I think I want to say it was with Pedro, Lydia, and Chantel, how they were talking about Nicole, and Chantel told Lydia like, "Hey, I tried to tell Winter about this about Ja for 4 years, and she didn't want to listen. So she gonna do what
Mm-hmm.
she gonna do. Nicole's the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Pedro's the same way. He's like, well, at this point, at some point the bottom is just gonna fall out." And Lydia's all exactly. I'm like, well, if y'all know this, why do y'all keep harping on this child?
Okay, so Yanni says Pedro did what he did because Lydia egged him on. Can't Nicole see it? Now she made up with Lydia and Pedro is the wrong one. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
Pedro or Nicole realize that their mother pits the two of them against each other for her benefit.
They
She
don't.
does that. But when they realize that, then I guess they'll see it. And I believe Koriyama has told Nicole that like Koriyama's not for Alejandro, and I think she has told Nicole that. Um, but I think she also realizes that Nicole is stubborn, so she's just listening because she knows that in the end this will end badly. Um, he is probably a rich man, and Lydia is not in the same class. She brings up Alejandro's job too often to be with a broke man. You know what? I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm gonna throw this out there. In the preview for next week, when we saw the Pedro Jr. and Jonathan walk in, do y'all think that Lydia doesn't like Alejandro because he looks like their daddy?
Yeah, they're both bright, as we call them here.
Mm-hmm. Child, I nearly fell out. No wonder why Nicole is running after
But remember,
Alejandro so much because she running after her daddy.
but remember, I said that a couple of episodes ago. I was wondering, like, does Lydia? I asked, does Alejandro remind Lydia of her their daddy? And I've always wondered that because to have that kind of aversion to someone you don't know.
Well, I was thinking you were meaning because we hadn't seen like a
The brothers,
physical
yeah. Oh,
likeness. Yeah. So I
right.
was like, maybe his movementations that like how he lies, buying
Right.
off with cheap gifts, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
He came with the perfume, aka a greeting card, worthless. I could get my own perfume from Pedro. I don't need
Uh
you.
oh. Uh oh. Spoiler alert. Yanni says Nicole's dad looks like Nicole. Alejandro doesn't look like her. I thought Nicole looked like Lydia to me.
The set around the mouth looks like the dad. But I
Have we seen a picture of her dad and I missed it?
no.
Okay, because people are just, I'm not like, Yanni, have you seen the picture of the dad? Because I haven't. Because I noticed it last night when I looked at, they did a close up of Lydia. I'm like, ooh, that's not Nicole. When she gets older, I don't know what
Mhm.
that is.
Mhm. But her mouth is different though.
Mm.
Her mouth is different. And apparently she needed break. I think her mouth is bigger than Lydia's and
Mm-hmm.
Pedro's. Um hold on.
Oh, the cousins. Thank you, Yanni. I
Mhm.
missed that. No, no, the cousin said Nicole is 100% her dad.
Hmm.
Ooh, the plot thickens on that one.
Child. So yeah, so she says Chantel is disrespectful. She's gonna do a little punch up with her and rupture a titty or something. I don't know. I don't care. It was a lot of braggadocious talking. Whatever. Next we get to Chantel. And she can't believe how Lydia was talking to Pedro. I guess this is when he got up from the table. Um, Wait, did we get to the lunch yet? I can't even
Which
remember.
lunch? The
Hold
one
on.
with
I skipped
Lydia.
it.
Oh,
Sorry. Yeah. Pedro takes Chantel to go and have lunch with Lydia. And they meet at this really nice outdoor thing. Lydia has to remember that when she is choosing her garments to be on TV, you have to accommodate a mic pack that is connected to your bra strap, which will stretch out your clothes. Her buttons was screaming to pop off of this dress because she didn't take into account the stupid mic pack.
hmm.
Girl, stop. Anywho, Chantel looked like she was in the Miss Universe pageant representing the DR. I loved her outfit though. Her makeup was iffy for me, and I think it depended on the lighting, but her little outfit was everything. So wait, so they sit down, and Chantel and Lydia have a nice hug. Everything starts off okay, right? Everything starts off okay. And then Lydia asks, "Well, when are you leaving?"
Right.
Um, get to the point, Lydia. Wow. Pedro says that they're there for a few days and that her and her mom and sister are all there. But then Pedro starts asking if she doesn't feel guilty about what's happened.
Hmm.
And she says no. How can she? It's not her fault. And she don't want to talk about it. But
Exactly.
Chantel chimes in and she says that Pepe feels a lot of pain regarding the topic and he has questions for his father. I thought that was okay to say.
Right. That's fine. It was her
Then she,
questioning. It was her questioning Lydia. I was like, no,
yes,
you were doing
but I
so well.
wanted that question.
Well, here's the thing. There's a difference between if doing the right thing for Pedro and doing the right thing for us. Now she did the wrong thing for Pedro because it's going to cause more issues with his family, but she did the right thing for us because it's going to cause more drama and be more entertaining. See?
Okay, they already against Pedro because he made a
Correct.
whole ass of himself at the campo. Um, This one little question on whether Lydia loved Pedro Sr. or not was neither here nor there.
It
They
was the
already
other.
hate her. They hate him for being with her. You know?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, she's supposed to go there and listen, and not question the woman. Like, look, what's really going on?
Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so hold on. Let's see. What did Lydia say in return? She was like, no, she wasn't. And she says the conversation was boring. Um, she's just she just doesn't want to talk about this, and I don't think she wants to admit that she was in love with that man.
Oh no, she's not gonna admit that. Here's the
Mm-mm.
thing. I like what Yanni's saying. She's all like, Chantel said, like, I like when she said, you don't know how much this is hurting him. Here's the thing. I think they do because he's expressed it and they just don't care. So I think Chantel's read of the situation is off. That's why the reason she's there to support him because his family has hurt him and they know they're hurting him because he expresses it. He shows it. There's no way you could not know.
But had Lydia answered that question and said, at the time, of course I did. I would not have had 2 children with somebody that I didn't love. That could have helped Pedro. But instead,
Yeah.
she chose to do the hard route
Mm-hmm.
and further hurt him. And although the question is messy and as Lydia says, it's disrespectful, I think it still needed to be asked, because when she and Pedro are talking later and he's like wondering if he is using her too, and she goes, the difference is that you love me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's key. That's why I think that question, as messy as it was and as hurtful as it was in the moment to Pedro, hearing his mother's response, I think it was helpful in him trying to process all of this, because now he's turning it on himself and he's now wondering if he is a dirtbag.
But here's the thing, though. I understand the thought process to a degree, but I'm looking at him like, well, sir, your family, it's the women taking advantage of the men, not the other way around. And it seems to be
But that's what
consistent.
he knows now. He doesn't know about the other boys. Like, what? I think it's a valid
Oh,
notion. He does,
well,
like, we only discussing about the women, but you feel that these women, they're also raising boys.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Typically, women don't fall for this kind of mess. In my Based on my life experience and what I've seen in the world,
Hey,
women don't
wait,
fall.
we watched 90 Day Fiance.
Women don't fall for this BS.
There's plenty of
Like if
women that
you
fall for this mess.
not well, I don't, maybe this is where was born and raised, but they not going for this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because where I come from, they looking up everybody. They want to know who your people are, and they want to know where they people are, and they want to know where the
Mm-hmm.
in-law peoples is from. Like, they gonna find out what's going about
Mm-hmm.
you, whether it's the cousins, Junebug and Ray. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a whole dragnet type situation. So it's just, to me, this is weird that a woman would like fall for this.
Okay. Well, after he gets up mad from his mom, he and Chantel sit down, and she tries to calm him down. Um, uh, but Chantel also says to him that it's clear that his mom is hurt, and this whole situation must be stressful for her. So she is kind of trying to defend Lydia and see it from a woman's perspective, because as hard as Lydia is at that table, I think Chantel is seeing through it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Yanni.
Um,
Okay, Yanni says.
mhm.
Let me go to Blobby first. So Blobby says Karen said, "Mind your business," and she didn't. Yep. Yanni says she was young and stupid. It's understandable. Even the part the family said that this is culture, very common with Latinos, but Lydia is very defensive because she lied too. I could see that.
Mhm.
Yanni says, Jamal, this is so common with Latinos. Oh, so common, especially a few decades ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially a few decades ago,
Yeah.
especially around the port. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
I could see that. I think with Lydia, from my standpoint, I
uh-huh.
just feel like she didn't really expect Pedro and Nicole to ask any questions and just to live their life as adults. Like, that you're in a good space, we're doing well, like, be happy. I don't think she was looking for all these emotional baggage to come back up.
And especially on a TV show. We putting all her drawers out there on Front Street.
Right.
She's not coming off very good. And she's a stubborn woman who has not had an easy life. And who's to say some other man was not her benefactor to get her through college? I mean, she knows the trick. I was going to say tricks of the trade, but she knows how to maneuver situations and people in order to get something in return.
And Yanni says,
Pedro's
why did,
dad may not have been the first or the last.
true, why did Lydia hug Chantel? Because she was a queen. Um, and she was commenting on her dress, and she did look stunning. Doesn't she hate her? I don't think she hates Chantel. I think what more is she has a severe distaste for Chantel's family. And then something else is missing here there too. Lydia knows where the money's coming from. Let's not play these type of games.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not
That's
play
what
these
I
type
was
of
saying.
games.
Mm-hmm.
She may not like Chantel, but she understands where the money's coming from.
Honestly, the way how she said it, it sounded kind of snarky. So, was it genuine? No.
But damn, Chantel looked it good though. You can't
Yeah,
deny that. She looked,
she
she cooked that
did.
dress.
She did. But Lydia could have been like, where is this overdressed peacock going?
That too. But Jamal always does when the children grow up and think for themselves, also especially on TV show. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
I can go with that too. Debbie, I know what you were thinking. Mama knew how to trick for a coin. I mean, to me, the when I at the campo, the way I took it, and this may come out across kind of wrong, but it is what it is. I'm like, this is just a family business.
Yeah, it's the family trade passed
That's
down
just
generation to
that's just the way I took it. It's like, oh yeah, I'll do this. Okay.
look, you do what you got to do to survive, right? Not putting down anybody for it.
Mhm. It
Um,
makes me wonder if they are having at least a cordial relationship now. I think so. Yes, she looked gorgeous, but for TV, I just think that at this point, Lydia understands that Pedro does love her, but the reason why they're having the lifestyle they're having is not so much from her being an attorney, it's from Chantel seeing the coin. Because if Chantel is not on good terms with you, y'all not getting no money.
mm-hmm.
So that's why I think they want Nicole to keep her mouth shut, like quit messing this up. And Nicole, for some reason, her age does not understand or doesn't have a grasp that the woman that you quote unquote hate is the reason why we live in the way we live and the reason why you ain't got to work. So we're gonna need you to calm that shit down.
True, unless Nicole feels that Alejandro is her Chantel. Like Pedro's Chantel's that's his purse there. Maybe she sees Alejandro. She thinks that she is interesting and she is special. And maybe she thinks that she can get a spinoff with Dishwater Alejandro. You never know what's going through her head. She is so spoiled. And her ego is so inflated now, especially with the two inflations she has on the chest now. Like she really thinks a lot of herself, and there's nothing wrong with having self-confidence, but Nicole is a bit much.
Yanni says Jamal, she playing Chantel like she did that. Not so much but see, Chantel's aware of the game. What
Mm-hmm.
she's trying to do now is make Pedro see it. She's
Mm-hmm.
trying to drive that wedge because she doesn't want his family in the United States. That's what that is. She's trying to make him
Mm-hmm.
see the light, and she's taking advantage of the situation. Chantel's hands are not completely clean in this. We can see the
Well,
machinations and the manipulations. She's like,
what do you
Pedro.
think? What else Chantel said to him? She says that Lydia loves him, but she has to take his feelings into consideration, and that with time, his relationship with his mom will get better. Um, wait. Then Pedro starts questioning whether if he or his sister were mistakes.
Yeah,
Um,
I can get that, but they weren't mistakes. Because you could tell she wanted children.
mm-hmm,
Um, in my mind, Lydia really felt that she was going to be with this man. That because she said he remember when they had Pedro, he was single. She found out later he was married, and she just not understood this from her. She did not want to be a woman who had children by different men. So and he already had children, so why not? I completely get all of that. I think at some point she held out a lot of hope that he would choose her and her children. And when it didn't happen, she just realized, look, you're never gonna be with me. You're never gonna provide for me like I need you to. So
mm-hmm.
we've got to part ways. So they weren't mistakes. Like definitely weren't mistakes. Like because she had Pedro thinking they were gonna be together. Cool, it didn't happen. At the end of the day, she wanted another child, and she didn't want it with another man. So they were not mistakes at all. And she kind of her unwillingness to really explain certain things is the main issue.
Okay, so this comment from Yanni is very interesting. It's weird she goes from I'm repeating the pattern to I'm sick of my family, Alejandro's awesome, weird. Okay, so she was repeating the pattern when before Alejandro announced that he's now divorced. So now she's giving it a second go, and she thinks, as delusionally as her mother thought decades ago, that this is someone that is a suitable partner for her and is a way out.
She knows he's not suitable. Sorry.
Right, but Lydia knew that too with their daddy, so she still
Well,
is repeating the pattern.
she is, but the man's not suitable because he ain't got no money. Um, that's why he's not. That's why for Nicole he's not suitable. Because if he was suitable, he'd have paid for her boobs. But I digress.
Right, but what is priority? What is priority for Lydia? Maybe a different priority for Nicole. What she
Do you
places
think?
value on may be different as
Do you
well.
think? Do you think this is why they're clashing?
Probably.
Because they're like
It's old school versus new school.
right. Nicole's priorities don't line up with Lydia's priorities, so Lydia's trying
Mhm.
to impress upon Nicole her priorities, and Nicole's rebelling. Do you think that might be a reason, the main reason for
Mhm.
the tension?
Yeah.
Yanni says, Jamal, what I see is the pattern. She definitely uses people for money. Before I thought maybe she got herself in a bad situation and make the best she could since she was in it. Now I see it. No, I got it. No, I can definitely see that as well. And it's interesting that we're talking about the patterns of behavior because I never thought about the old school versus the new school and priorities. Because I'm like, why are y'all clashing so much? And then when you just said this, like, oh, um, Lydia's trying to tell Nicole, like, oh, he's not good for you, when she's telling you he ain't got enough money for you, without out verbally telling her like he's broke, dumping. But she
Yeah,
told
but
Pedro,
her
but she told
priority might
Pedro,
not be the money because
correct,
she's getting money from another source.
right.
Her priority might be to get to the States.
But the
And
interesting
I
is,
think Lydia wants her to stay there.
she
I
does.
think I saw it in the comments. She wants her to
Hmm.
stay there and marry somebody who is well off there.
Right. I just,
Um,
I just don't see Nicole rushing to the states though. You know what I mean? She
I
just
think
seems to be
she's
okay.
looking for a path away from her mother, not
Mother.
necessarily to the States,
Hmm.
but maybe she needs a little bit of distance from her mom.
I can see that.
You know, look what she did. I think she went and entered like the beauty contest. If she had won it, she would have been away from Lydia for a year.
Right.
So next up is your girl Megan. You like her? You could talk about her. I dozed off.
I mean, she was just going over with her friend, like her thought process, how you know they're taking it slow. River seems to be cool, but out of the blue, he made a comment like, "You're not showing up," and she was just like, "When, where?" And she has a point. She's explained to him like her life. She has a child. She works. She's not gonna have the energy and time that he has to put in. Like the energy that he has for her and the time she doesn't have for him because of priorities and responsibilities. And I get that. And she's concerned that they are on two different pages at this time. And her friend's like, you know what? Yep, you might be right. Timing is everything. And she's like, okay, moving on. That's what the friend was like. You're right. You're totally right. It's just timing. It's just not the right time. Move on. It's okay. So that was that pretty much that scene.
Mm-mm-mm. All right. So next we see it's the next day, and um, Chantel is with Pedro, and she asks him how he feels like since it's the day after. Um, so Chantel says that after yesterday, she feels validated that his mom and sister only wanted to use him and her. Um, uh, and she says that what they value and that they equate like things with love.
Hmm.
Um, oh, child. I think this was a little bit too much for him. Pedro is confused because he says his grandma seems to have taken advantage of his grandpa. His mom took advantage of his dad. And then is he taking advantage of her subconsciously? And so Chantel asks, if he loved her she says when they met, but I don't think you don't love people as soon as you meet them. That's like Disney. But they fell in love, basically. So she asked if there was, if he loves her, and he said yes. But he's still wondering if he used her. And I think it's a valid question in his head. And this is why I'm saying we're only seeing what the women have done in this family. But if women are raising boys, that same mentality, it's not only passed to the girls, but it's passed to the boys. It's just it might just manifest differently.
True.
Um,
I get. I mean, I definitely get his concern, but it's more like I think you're okay because your thought process is different.
I think,
Pedro's more innocent to me.
you know what it is too? I think Lydia also raised her kids with some sort of morals, and Pedro really took that on. And because she placed him as the head of the family, the man of the family, the morals rose higher above the using. You see what I mean?
Yes.
But the using is still there. It's
Right.
still there. But he has taken on this responsibility role for these two women in his life. And he's their protector. So he's not going to be the one going out there using first. He's there as his role is the protector. And now that, like, to me, I feel like he's having like a crisis of conscience or something like that. Like the devil and the angel are battling it out. It's just so weird. I just find him so interesting this season. I really do.
It's
If
because of the
he's
emotional dynamic. It's the emotional dynamic which is interesting with him because he actually has to sit back and process things that he's not had to think about.
yeah.
So he's all concerned about doing the right thing and being a good. He wants to be a good man. So where he's struggling is like, how can I be a good man? How with these influences? And it may sound bad to say, but that's the way I see it.
So the producers sit down with Chantel and they ask her if she feels like Pedro's using her. And Chantel says that she doesn't think that Pedro used her, but she thinks that his family uses him. And that's what she wants him to acknowledge. Then we see Pedro, and Pedro says that the next step is to find his brothers in Santo Domingo, but he didn't know where his father lived. And this is when, Nicole is like, oh, are they coming there? And he's like, no, they live here. And she's kind of taken aback, which I don't understand why she's taken aback, because Lydia moved her family to the capital. People do it.
Right. Yes.
He says that he's going to go and ask Nicole one more time if she wants to join him to meet with the two brothers. His cousin is setting up the meeting with his brothers, and so we see him with Nicole, and he's asking her if she wants to go, and they just start arguing. Nicole starts arguing about Chantel. Like, Chantel lives rent-free in this girl's mind. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I
so
was gonna say
pathetic.
that. I was gonna say that. I'm like, I
I don't
mean,
understand why Nicole had to come up into this, because she hasn't seen her. He's asking you to go and meet your half brothers.
right.
Pedro says that she's there going, no, she doesn't want to go. And Pedro says, don't you have questions? Because he wants to know why he decided to have another family when he already had one. He wants to know why he had him and Nicole, and if they were a mistake. Pedro wants to know what happened between him and his mom. I mean, Senior and his mom. I don't even know what I wrote here. Oh my God. I need to pay attention more when I'm writing. Pedro wonders if Nicole is looking for the affection that she never received from their father. And that's why she's making the decisions that she's making, I guess Alejandro isn't the first bad decision regarding a boyfriend that she's
Right.
made. Pedro is grateful that his wife's family is supporting him. That pisses Nicole all the way off, and she tells him to go with them and leave her alone, and that she's not interested. And that was the end of the episode.
This is a good episode overall.
I can't wait to meet his brothers next week.
Yes. By the looks of them, I'm like, oh, y'all kind of light. I was like, okay.
Wouldn't it be funny if Alejandro was in some way related to them?
Stop it! Not in some way. I'm just interested because he's supposed to be meeting his brothers. I'm like, okay. I wonder what the mother looks like if they're of a fair skin complexion. I'm just intrigued is all. I'm intrigued.
I wonder if in DR, if there is like a class system, like the fairer you are, the more high class you are, the darker
I think
you
there
are, the
is.
more low class you are. I don't know.
Based on what I've heard in some of the islands, colorism does exist, and it's very.
Oh, it does. It does. Like my mother's generation, it was very prevalent. I'm just wondering if nowadays.
Oh, nowadays, gotcha.
Nowadays.
I still think there is.
Notice the white better life, more educated. Oh, wait, hold on. Yanni says, notice they white, which means that they had a better life, more educated. And that might be the reason why the two of them were hidden. What Lydia might see Alejandro and compare with the dad is because he's white. Oh.
I can definitely see that.
See, because before, without seeing the other brothers, I was just thinking that it was based on he was already legally married, probably someone in society, a well-off person, either with, a big acreage or a successful business, and was influential in society. So you're not going to get rid of your established family to go with your side piece. I did not even bring color into it. That puppy is definitely lighter than them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because when the brothers walked in, I was like, whoa. Okay.
Oh, so maybe she's really trying to spare her children from the rejection of not being white. Oh my God, this gets better and better, y'all. Yeah, the cousin was light as well. Oh, interesting. Is there in DR, is there like indigenous Indian still like because like when I look at Pedro's grandmother, I was seeing indigenous Indian, but I could be wrong. Mad that the kids look so a Blavi. Yeah, Tracy, they did. It was a quick snippet of the two boys walking into the restaurant where they're meeting Pedro, and they're light skin. very light skin.
They're very fair.
Um, it will be. It will be very interesting. Yes, they have it. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, guys, that was the episode, The Family Chantel, Season 3, Episode 10, On My Best Behavior. I'm not going to come down too hard on Chantel for asking that question because I was wondering that question. It was a good episode.
Yeah,
Next week's going to be real good, too. They have been doing so good this season. Oh, my God.
it's because it's less Karen. Sorry.
Yes.
It's less Karen, and it's more focused on the family and the family dynamics versus her antics and her trying to butt into everybody's situation.
And when she did, it was her being a mom, not being
Hmm.
TV Karen.
She treats lighter skinned people better. She never says anything about Thomas
Oh,
or River.
or Winter.
Hmm.
Damn. I did too, Tracy.
Like I said, was it the right thing to do for Pedro? No. But was it the right thing to do for us? Yes.
You know what?
Just
I'll
saying.
challenge you on that. It was the right thing to do for Pedro, especially the avenue that he's going down with, saying that he's a user. He isn't.
Right,
That
but
question needed to be asked.
but to me, overall, I get where she was going, and I know where she was going, but I'm just a person who believes you don't question like elders about their like if you don't have that relationship to ask that question.
But she might be able to get away with it woman to woman.
Right. I guess what, I'll put it this way. I think it would come over better for me if it was her and Lydia one on one, woman to woman, not with Pedro there.
But
And I
if
keep
he had answered that correctly, it could have been the key to both of them, even if it was a lie. But she's just so caught up in her feelings. I don't know.
it's just an interesting dynamic overall.
All right, Tracy wants to know, do you think River and Megan will last?
Oh, of course not. That was just for show. I mean, but here's the problem though. Megan is doing and saying all the right things. She's playing her part perfectly. River's not following script. River's gone and caught feelings and gone rogue. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Sorry.
Yeah. Yanni says, I ask everything, Jamal, especially if you lying and traumatizing me.
Oh.
Tracy says, doesn't seem Megan is at all in love like River is.
She isn't.
Is River in love though, or does he just want a piece of ass?
I mean, the way he acts, I'm like, okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt on this one because what person would act this kind of a fool over someone they haven't slept with on international TV? I'm gonna leave that right there.
Someone who's emotionally immature.
I'm glad I never was that immature. Good lord, though. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, it makes for good TV.
No, it does. No, it does. I'm not saying it's not good TV. I'm just saying this is just sad.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Blobby says Megan wants a bag and River is kind of dusty.
Well, yeah. And Yanni said, I thought she was hired now. Yanni says, I thought she was hired. Now I can see she's so taking advantage of River. I mean, is it really taking advantage if the other person's a willing participant? Just saying.
It's all for production.
It is.
River is still a virgin.
Blobby said he's a SoundCloud rapper. I'm done. Not SoundCloud. Not even iTunes. Not even iTunes. SoundCloud. Oof.
Oh my God. He's 23. Of course he's immature. Yeah. He's not ready
Ooh,
for everything that Megan
no.
has. He's really not. And I think
It,
he thinks he is because he's seen everything that his older siblings have done. But it also, okay, you witnessed that, but you haven't experienced anything in life. You still living at home with your parents, sleeping in a onesie in their house.
and
Okay.
those dry ass lyrics we hear next week, I'm done. Yeah, I can't support him after that. Sorry.
I think I might be playing games during that part.
I can't support him on that.
Yeah. All right, guys, we have to go, but please give us a thumbs up if you like today's content. The live chat has been amazing. I love your thoughts. Hello to everybody on the replay crew. Please leave your comments below. We really appreciate it. And we'll try to get through them before the end of the week. What the hell is that hair? Oh, wait, mine or Rivers? Because I know I was trying to smooth it down. I didn't comb it today, but whatever. So, guys, leave your comments below. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're almost at 700. Yay. We're almost
Oh,
there.
well, River. I think the way the hair is just the way his hair grows. His
Mm-hmm.
hair doesn't grow up. Like my hair, if it grew out, it would grow up. But
Mm-hmm.
the way his hair is, it grows out. So he gives you sideshow Bob realness, and it's not the most attractive thing on him.
Well, isn't his hair fine too? So it's limp.
Yeah, his hair is kind of fine, but I think it was just his text. I think his overall it's the texture. Like when it's braided up, it looks good. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm like okay, but when it's like um out, it kind of gives you like a mixture of homeless
Like a
Ra-
mushroom.
homeless Rasta chic is the best way I can put it.
Oh my God. I don't know. I don't know. I would love to see like if he goes and he gets like a trim, like to
Right.
trim the ends.
Hmm.
Um anyway, whatever. Good for him. Um Tomorrow our show is going to be a little late. It's my fault. I have 2 appointments tomorrow that I cannot miss. So anywhere between 3:15 and 3:30 Eastern, and that's 12:15, 12:30 Pacific.
Yeah.
For the Real Housewives of OC, we will be doing that review. And are we going to throw in 90 Day tomorrow?
No, remember because we lost Ultimate Girls Trip, we're doing 90 Day on Friday.
We're doing 90 Day on Friday.
Right.
Okay.
To give us
Alrighty.
time to watch, and because these are all new people to us, so I need space to really watch it because I want to see all the scamming. And I want to because based on what I've read, this is hilarious. This is just
I got through the first hour and it was a struggle.
really
Yes, it was a struggle. Some of the characters I'm really not vibing with. Um, it was a struggle for me. It was a struggle. But I'll try to finish off the final half hour and just call it a day.
Bobby. So I need a link for 90 Day on Friday.
Oh boy. Well, we're gonna schedule that. We're gonna talk about what time we're gonna schedule that and just make sure that we get enough time in there for everybody to come and talk about these new cast of characters.
Oh,
It'll be
Cat Mama, Cat Mama instead. Well, when they're new to me, yes, because I don't know these people. When they're old recycled characters, I kind of know what's gonna happen, so I don't have to do too much.
Hey Larja. Oh my
Hey,
God.
Larja.
All right, so Jamal, any final thoughts?
No, we are all set. I can't wait for OC tomorrow. This is gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, it will be. So guys, we'll see you here tomorrow afternoon. So until next time, Jamal.
Of course.
Bye.
Bye.